Good morning, everybody. It's Colton. Welcome to mile 17. I am starting this segment called Coffee with Colton. I plan to be doing this every Monday morning with you, and just a quick 5 to 10 minute little conversation with you. Get your day started on the right foot. Yes, I've got my coffee here. It's wonderful. So today I'm actually in northern Arizona, where I grew up, hanging out with my mom and her husband Phil for the week. It's been amazing. It's been a great way to reset myself and to kind of ground myself and remind myself of what's really important in my life. So often we get so caught up in our daily routines and our work life, and honestly just forget to take a step back, ground ourselves, and realize what's really, really important. So for me, that's love, family, connection, friends, and just being aware of myself and my feelings and what I want for the future. And a good time to just check in with myself to, ask is what I'm doing what I actually want as far as my job and the direction that my life is going. So that's what I kind of wanted to just get through to everybody today, is to find that space that is your solitude, that you can just get back to the basics, back to the roots, to where, you can get away from your obligations for a little bit. I know that's not always easy if you have kids or if your job doesn't really allow you for the time off. But if you have the resources available, or even if you don't, just find a way. It's possible. We can come up with a million excuses, but just find that way to ground yourself and to check in. Nobody else is going to check in for you. As much as, your friends and your family, your spouse, your partner care about you, ultimately you're the only person that can truly check in with yourself and make sure that the path that you're going down is what you want. And it's never too late to pivot and to try something new and to take a step back and start making a plan to change the trajectory of your life. So like I said, for me, it really took just coming home. Northern Arizona, it's a pretty rural way of life, and I'm not saying that this is, how I want to live every day, but it's a good space for me to come and remind myself of where I came from and to just check it. My mom's always been a great sounding board for me and a great place to go to when I'm unsure of anything in my life. And in this room that I'm at in her house, she has this picture that she's had for a long time, and it's by John Wayne, and it says, "Courage is being scared to death but saddling up anyway." And that's so true. That rings very true for me right now as I'm starting on this venture and putting myself out there and creating this community and conversation with all of you. So that's very representative of this chapter of my life. I have found myself in a spot in my career to where I'm not exactly sure, honestly, what I want anymore. And it can be a scary place to be, especially when you've spent so much time working towards something and seeing this vision for your life. Then you all of a sudden get to a point where you're like, I don't actually know if this is what I want. And when you start really checking in with yourself, and if you're actually honest with yourself, you'll start to realize the things that you actually want and not what everybody else wants, what you actually want. And I think that's so vitally important to the overall happiness of your life. And when you get, to your last day on earth, if you have the blessing to be able to actually reflect on your life, I think that these moments in our 20s and our 30s, even in our 40s, wherever you're at in your life, if you don't take the time to check in and to intentionally move forward on whatever path you want, I think you'll end up getting to the end of your life and really regretting the choices that you made, versus if you start now and even if it's scary, like it's so scary to do anything, but to me, it's even more scary to do something that you don't want to do. And, you're just doing it out of security and safety. I think that's even more scary. So my challenge for you this morning is to find that time, whether it's just going for a walk. Like I said, if you have kids and you can't, physically get away, just find time to go for a walk. Even if you have to take the kids with you, you can ignore them while they're, chatting away. Try to find some kind of solitude and some kind of space to check in and to really think about what you want. We have, I like to say, like, we have one chance to live this life, but in reality, like, you have a million chances, because every day is a new chance. Every minute, every hour, every second is a new chance, because you truly can just change your life at any point. When you make that decision to move forward and, to start applying for those other jobs, to open that business, to start a podcast, to write a book, to have a kid, to get married, to move home, to move to a different city, whatever it is, when you make that decision, you are literally changing the entire path of that your life was going down. So anyways, I hope that this has helped. Cheers to Monday morning and to making this a great week. I actually love Mondays. I think it's a great time to set the tone for the week. I love a Monday morning. Granted, I don't work on Monday through Friday, so maybe my outlook's a little skewed on that, but I think it's a great way for you to start with a fresh mind and to start the week off the way that you want. And if you don't drink coffee, that's okay. If you have your orange juice, your water, whatever it is you have this morning, cheers to you. So as always, I thank you so much for being here and for spending your time with me. My name is Colton. This is Mile 17, the podcast. And this is our first coffee with Colton that we get to spend together. So thank you for being here. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. If you are able to subscribe, to follow, to rate the show, whether you're listening on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or YouTube, it truly helps. So thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a wonderful week.